wouldn't come to the UK. You can only make money if you're solving problems. And Africa has loads of problems to solve. When you go to Ghana, people you know, they have a piece of cancer. How many people do you know in the world? That's a if and have the ability to generate 10,000 pounds. Yeah? I will not jump on a plane to come to England.
My guest today is in the person of Mr. Daniel Agbeto Walker. He's a writer, he's a founder of the Diaspora African Success. And he's got a lot to share with us today. If you don't want to miss this episode, I'm not going to be able to do justice to talking about his background, so I'm going to let him do it himself. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a bit about your background?
I came to the UK in 1988 and I trained in the beginning as a mental health nurse, then rose through the ranks, was a manager in the National Health Service. And then from there, I did other civil service jobs. I was an operational manager or what they call prison governor. At some point, one of the junior prison governor and served in a prison service. And then 15 years ago, with my wife, we set up our care home business. So in a nutshell, I've been a manager in various organizations, National Health Service, Prison Service, and then social care, ran my own care homes. Also did a bit or continue to do a bit of farming in Africa. So yes, so my background is very, very rich.
It's vast.
Yes, in a nutshell.
It's huge and really, really impressive. You being here for 38 years. If you were 25 years old today, or if based on the experience, everything you've gone through since you've been here, if time should go back and knowing what you know now, would you still come to the UK?
With what I know now, the knowledge I have now, if I have it back then and the way Africa is now, I wouldn't come to the UK.
You wouldn't come to the UK?
No. With the knowledge I have at the moment, if I have that knowledge back then, or somebody has guided me with that knowledge, and the way Africa is growing now, especially with what I know about Africa now, I wouldn't come to the UK. Even if I come, I'll come with a plan, with a specific time period to go back.
So being in that, for what you've achieved and for what you know, it's possible with your knowledge to make wealth back home in Africa.
Yes.
To survive.
Yes.
To build everything. You build an amazing life.
Yes. And I know not many people will agree with me, but with my experience here in the UK, with what I know now, I know for a fact that probably setting up in Africa, despite the problems we have there, setting up in Africa as a business or as a business person, I think you are more likely to do well there than here.
I mean, there are people who sell their businesses to move to the UK. There are people who build businesses to a certain level. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, I think a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, there was someone who built a business to a level, sold it, and moved to the UK. And now, based on everything, or based on what you're saying, they could have made it home in Africa rather than selling the business and moving to the UK.
Yes.
When we're having a chat earlier, you said something about mindset.
Yes.
I really want to know your perception or your thoughts process about how our mindset as Africans is like when we want to move to the UK or when we want to travel or even when we are back home. Yeah. When you say mindset is what limits us, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, mindset is basically your belief system. What your belief system is, and that belief system we form it through our education, our experiences, and our backgrounds and everything that shape us. And mindset is very difficult to shift. Yeah. So the reason why I was saying that is based on our mindset, because there was an era whereby Africa was seen as underdeveloped, whereby even the Western world used to describe us as third world countries.
They still do, actually.
Yes, they still do. They describe us as third world countries. So with all of that, we absorb it. So at times it's very difficult to shift, to recognize that Africa or Ghana, for example, 10 years ago, the way Ghana is now is not the same. Yeah. And for me, sitting here saying this, it took me a while to actually change my belief about where I come from. And I suppose the reason why we also see Africa as probably, I'm not saying every area has got its challenges, advantages, and disadvantages. Here is, say, when I say here, I mean the UK. Mm-hmm. It's a system that has grown over a period of time. It's very systemized. It's systemized, it's organized. Even simple things like when you go to the bus stop, when you get there first, you stay, the person after you, queue after you. So it took them a long time to be like that. Yeah. But where we come from is not organized. It still has the problems. Yeah. But UK, places like UK, all those little problems, teasing problems that we have now in Africa, they probably have gone through it. So if you compare it like a river full of problems, UK, because of the way the Western world, the way their systems are, most of their problems have been solved. So there's not a lot there to solve. You can only make money if you're solving problems.
Yes.
And Africa has loads of problems to solve. Africa needs loads of services in order to address those problems. But the UK hasn't. UK, if you want to set up a business in the UK, it's very straightforward. You know what to do and all that. But the challenge is, it's not easy as we assume it is.
Yeah.
But whereas Africa, yes, there will be frustrations in terms of governance systems and all of that. But the problems are there. You just need to find a solution, how to address them, and you make the money. And also, in Africa, we got a population on our side.
Yeah.
And I'll give you another. When I was saying Africa has moved on exchange, if you just take mobile phone, for example, how many people in Ghana now don't have mobile phone?
Everyone's got mobile.
Yes. And when I came to this country, I remember in 1991 when I paid a visit to Ghana, those days when you want to make a phone call to the UK and you are in Accra, you have to go. If you don't have a phone in your house, you have to go to Accra North Police Station. Accra North Post Office to make a call.
Wow.
Through a phone box. And those days, people from various parts of the country, if they want to call their loved ones in the UK, they'll come there and queue. That's how it is. But now everybody has a mobile phone.
Yes.
So,
So Africa has
Africa has moved on.
Progressed. Yes. That's really interesting. Now, speaking about Africa progressing and how you mentioned that, let's take the UK to be like a river full of problems, and a lot of the problems have been solved. We all, growing up, we all knew what people used to say, the abroad dream, the UK dream. Because you're in the UK, let's take it to the UK dream.
Yeah.
Everybody, I want to go to the UK. I want to go abroad, so I make some money, build a house back home. The dream of migrating to the UK and it automatically somehow making your life better. That UK dream that was maybe, as I said, maybe in the 80s, in the 90s. Now looking at 2026 and beyond, is that dream still there? Does it exist, or the UK dream is just dead?
I won't say it's dead. It depends on, as an individual, what you come to the UK to do. I said earlier that if I'm 25 years old and considering to come to the UK with what I know now, I will probably don't come and stay as long as I did. Because one thing about coming to the UK or the Western world is, I have been here 38 years, but to me, it just seems like yesterday because the system here absorbs you. It absorbs you before you realize time is gone. Yeah. But going back to what you were saying, the opportunities and things that when you are comparing UK to a place like Ghana, let me give you an example. When you go to Ghana, almost people you know, they have a piece of land somewhere. Even if somebody is not rich, they have a piece of land somewhere. Land is wealth. How many people do you know in the UK who owns land?
Personally, none.
Yes. Yeah. And then if you look at it the other way, we will argue about it in various ways. Taking, for instance, to build a house, you see people, for example, who have teachers in Ghana, not in the cities, where everybody need money to build something, and they own it. Majority of people you see in Ghana driving cars, they own it. They don't buy it on loan. Here, what do we own? If you own a house here, I'm not saying there is nothing wrong with owning a house. You pay a mortgage. You've got a mortgage. It's a loan.
Yes, sir.
If you fail to pay that mortgage, that house will go.
Yes.
They will take it from you. Yeah. If you want to buy a car, only very few people will walk to a car showroom and buy a car outright. Yes. You buy it on loan. So, which is the best? You live in an economy whereby everything you have, you own it yourself, or you live in an economy whereby everything you have is on credit. That's the argument we pursue.
Yes.
To me, when you are living your life on credit, then you are not yourself.
You're not living.
You're not living.
Existing.
Yes. Yeah. So this is why we have to also pay attention to Africa, that there are certain things that happen in Africa. We don't sit down and analyze it, but if you analyze it carefully, and you compare to the way we live here, a lot of people back home, they own things. Yes. Yeah. When I go to Ghana, for example, now, there are people I went to school with. They have houses. But if I have a house here, probably I'm still paying a mortgage.
Yes. I mean, mortgages are 50 years old.
Yes. Yeah, those are the sort of things we don't look at. Yeah. So here, coming to the UK, there are advantages.
Yes.
There is nothing wrong with being exposed. The system where you were born, you come out of that system, go somewhere else, get that exposure is good. Get new knowledge, get skills is good. And then you take it back home. But we are getting to that stage now. Africa is developing very, very fast. Very, very fast. And when we are in the UK or the West, we shouldn't think that we are in the best
We are in
economy
the best
because if you look at the rates the economies are growing around the world, Africans' economies are growing faster than even the UK. So those are the things we need to be. But to put our eggs in one basket and say once you come to the UK you are better off, I don't think that is true. I would challenge that.
See you.
Yes. When you are here, you have to be acquiring new skills, new knowledge, developing yourself. But if it's just a question of coming to work, and another thing that misleads us is we compare the currencies.
Yes.
So somebody will say, how much is it cedi now to a pound?
I think it's 15, 16.
Yes. So unfortunately, that's all people see. But what they don't see is you are comparing two different economies. UK is a very high cost economy. So you can't expect your salary in Ghana to be equivalent to what you get in the UK. UK is a very high economy, expensive economy. You pay bills, yeah. So when you're just comparing the money, that alone is not good enough. But there are also advantages in my book, which I will show you in a minute. In that book, I say something about diaspora principle, the advantage. What I mean by that is when you live in the UK, that strong currency, if you look after it properly, it gives you leverage to invest back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So meaning we should see UK, traveling to UK as an avenue for us to invest back home.
Yes.
Move back home.
Yes.
Not to say we're moving to the UK for the rest of our lives.
So I wouldn't.
Yeah. So you come, let's say you give yourself I'm giving myself 10 years, I'm giving myself 15 years.
Yes.
Coming to the UK, build what I want to build, get stuff working for me back home before I move back home.
That would be the suggestion and advice I would give to people who are just coming. Have a plan, set a date, or whatever, set a date, have a goal. Whatever goal you have, if you wanted to go back to Ghana and set up your business, for example, while you are here, within that time frame, also acquire those skills to enable you when you go home to run your business. One of the things that I find fascinating is I've seen people, they come to the UK, they are working, then they want to set up business back home. You have not run a business before. So how do you expect it to run if you haven't got the skills?
Yeah.
You put relatives in charge of that business who haven't got the skills. So why do you expect that business to
drive? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you are here with the intention of having a goal to go back, also acquire those skills.
One thing I want to ask you is, obviously you've been here for a long time, and you've got a lot of experience under belts. What are some of the mistakes that you've seen Africans make when they move to the UK, when Africans move back home to the UK? That one, affects our finances, two, affect our growth, and then three, affect our ability to make wealth back home, to be able to move back home. What are some of the mistakes we make when we come in?
When you come in, I believe that when you move to Africa and you come to an environment like this, the first and foremost is direction.
Okay.
Having a direction. And that also goes to your networks that you keep. Yeah. So you found that those initial stages of your arrival, the network that you have, those are the people you are very likely to copy. Yeah.
Yes.
So, for example, if I invited you, you come to join me, I'll probably tell you about the work I do and I know. Yeah. So that's what I will be telling you. So that's number one. You need a direction.
Yes.
Yeah. And also one thing we don't do very well is when we come, sometimes we get just taken away by, I know you need money to live and all that, but most of it, we just get carried away with want to make money.
Take care.
Then the knowledge bit, we neglect it. Because yes, you can have as much money in the bank. If you don't have the knowledge and the skill set and the mindset, you will not do very well. Yeah. So the company you are in, lack of direction, lack of mentorship, lack of skills. Yeah. And then what we also do is, as an African, is sometimes we compare ourselves too much to each other. We have this belief that there are certain jobs that are very good. You can only do that. And I can tell you, when I came to this country waiting to start my next training, I was a cleaner in textbooks. Yeah, I cleaned before. To me, it's nothing, it's a means. So that's what we also don't realize. And then you also find that in our community, people try to copy and when we are not proud of what we do. And that's, if you don't have the right self-esteem or positive image, you cannot be successful because you do not believe in what you do. There are people, excuse me to say, if you're a cleaner, be proud to say I'm a cleaner. Don't be posting that you are something else. You see, so those are some of the mistakes we make. We should be ourselves. And then also, have a goal. Yeah, you need to have a goal that you need to have that goal and the direction where you wanted to go. And then the last bit I also find why we fail is we do things based on emotion. When you want to do any project, you have to do it even back home. You want to do something back home, you have to do it based on facts. Okay. Yeah. I can't say because Eric is building a house in Jowulu, Accra, so I should be forcing myself to build a house because I'm not Eric. Yes.
Yes.
So to me, you are operating from the point of emotion. And sometimes our family back home they don't help us as well because they compare, oh, you've been abroad for all these years, you're not doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we do a lot of things based on emotion. That goes to even when we want to set business up, or we see somebody, oh, this person has this, or is making profit. So you want to do it.
Yes.
I could tell you, not many businesses look profitable and profitable. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are some of the things I found that
the mistakes that we
make. And the mindset, we have to have an open mind that, Africa is growing. I've been to Africa. I go to other parts of Africa. I've been to Ghana. And I've seen people who live in Ghana, they live well than us. Yes. But then